Hi, welcome to the New Kills Kill Count. I'm your host, New Kills, and today we are looking at episode 2 of Escape the Night with Joey Graceffa, season 1 specifically. And I already explained what Escape the Night is in the first one, so we'll just continue on to the second episode. Episode 2 kicks off with a mad scientist and a guy in a wooden mask. Anyway, the scientist guy is doing stuff, and there are two captured people, which, let me just spoil it for you, they do not live long. And basically, the scientist is fixing his machine, or trying to make his machine work, and anyway, he stabs them and puts them in these tubes, and, then he turns the machine on by flipping the thing up. And by doing so, there's electricity flowing through it, which produces this dark gas, and I'm going to add both of them to the count. And basically, their screams or something is supposed to turn into smoke, like this dark liquid, which brings that creature onto existence, which this is really the only time we see her active. So, yeah. Anyway, the mysterious masked figure gives the dude this artifact with tentacles, which kind of reminds me of Cthulhu. Oh yeah, something I forgot to say was the car driver died last episode, but I'll add him now. Anyway, everyone's freaking out after the car driver got exploded with the car, and they all run back inside since, they're trapped there now. And they're still shooken up after Shane's death. And they're like, oh my god, how are we going to escape? And stuff like that. And Sarah comes in with a box, and the last time she brought something in was a severed head, and it's a severed hand. Why would they expect anything different? But I'm not going to add it to the count since it's just a hand. So, not a dismembered, a full dismembered person. Anyway, everyone's like, what the heck? Then they read a note that says that this dead lady's soul is connected to the Ouija board, or spirit board as they put it in the show. And one of them has to be the voice so they can listen to what she's saying or trying to tell them or something. It's confusing. I didn't get it the first time I watched it. Then Justine freaks out as she sees it's glowing, so that's a surprise. And it spells out something. I forgot what it spells out. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Books. And they were in a library. So what books? Any book. They find most of the books, but they're missing one of them. Anyway, Andrea notices a grandfather clock and opens it. And what does she find? The final and last book, which they need. So, yay for Andrea. I love her. I really hope she doesn't die. Anyway, they soon realize that there are arrows, which resembles something. I don't know. Then they start to try and figure out what the heck is happening with this puzzle, because it doesn't really make any sense to them. Then they realize that they have to play chess for some reason. Then they start reading the riddle, which corresponds to where the chess pieces are supposed to go. And Glowzell basically is complaining why, if they had a dumber ghost, they probably would have been out of the house by now, which, yeah, they would have. Then a drawer pops open, and Ollie takes the note and reads it. And he reads that the mad scientist used 2 college students to activate his machine, but it's too powerful and needs to be destroyed. And he basically tells that 2 of them will be voted into a challenge, and the loser will be dead. But first they have to find 4 symbols representing the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. And they split up into groups so they can find it. Then the group of Ava, Tim, and Sierra find the element of air. Then Matt, Lily, Glowzell, and Justine found fire. Andrea, Ollie, and Joey found water. Then they got a number being 8. Then a group goes outside to find the element of earth, and they find the numbers corresponding to each element, and they put it in so they can get the next clue. Then they read that now they have to vote 2 of their friends into the death challenge, and the loser will die. Then they all started putting the names they wanted into the challenge. Matt being Lily, Joey, Justine, and a few others being Andrea in the challenge. Arthur shook up the hat and pulled out the name, which was Andrea. The second name he pulled out was none other than Lily. So both of them have to go down into the basement and choose someone to help them. Andrea chose Justine and Lily chose Ava. They head downstairs, and the challenge is pretty simple. They have to malfunction the machine to save the person who is put into the challenge. Whoever malfunctions their machine first wins, and the person who failed to malfunction their machine will die. The first step is to overload the power core, which seems pretty simple if you know how machines work, but to them it's Greek. Like, they don't know how to do anything really. And basically they're just flipping up and down what to do, and there's numbers that correspond to where they need a flip or whatever, and it's very confusing to them and me because I don't know stuff about being smart. So yeah. And after a while, Ava was able to successfully malfunction the machine, killing Andrea, who I will add to the count. And I really liked Andrea. It's sad to see her go. But, as Andrea says earlier, she thought she deserved to die. Same with a bunch of others. Anyway, the machine pops open and they get the artifact, go back to the room, and, then Ollie finds a note, and it reads that not to trust one person. Because, yeah. And Lily says it can't be her since she almost literally died. But, yeah, and a lot of hands are pointing at Joey. And that's it. And I will see you guys when I count the 3rd episode. See you then, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Also, go check out the official show. So, yeah.